Welcome back, Irish fans, to Breaking On Braves Boys podcast. Notre Dame wins against Georgia Tech, a quad four win, but this one clinches a double bye in the ACC tournament, which all but gets Notre Dame into March Madness. Like Bray said earlier in the year, getting a double bye in the ACC tournament essentially means you're going to be in, and Notre Dame clinched one today, and basically means they're in the tournament, barring some crazy loss or some 30 bid Steelers getting in. So big win for Notre Dame today, even if Georgia Tech is the worst team in the league, and even if Georgia Tech looked like the worst team in the league today. Notre Dame ran away with this one. We haven't seen them do it in a while, and it really helped them in the standings. All around a good day for Notre Dame men's basketball. We got the one more year chance at Blake Wesley at the end of the game. We got Jack Nolan calling the game. It was a pleasure to listen to him. 3-0 when he's in attendance, so Jack, you got to keep going to the games. And we got JR, Tony, and Zona in at the 4-minute timeout. So really fun game for Notre Dame, even if Georgia Tech is the worst team in the league and looked like it today. Notre Dame was a little sloppy early on, but eventually pulled away, had a really efficient offensive performance all around. Everybody pretty much chipped in. Trey Wertz had 9, Nate had 8, Hubb had 13, Dane had 17, Cormac had 8 on 2 of 3 from 3. Blake Wesley had 15 and Paul Atkinson had 10. All around, everybody chipped in. Notre Dame's at 80 points with 3:44 left to go. Started early. Earliest I've started a postgame in a long time. Notre Dame's really made us sweat out some of these games, made us sweat out the first Georgia Tech game, but today reminded everybody that Notre Dame is a lot better than Georgia Tech, and that really showed today. I think this Georgia Tech team is far, far worse than last year's. Kyle Sturdivant is no Jose Alvarado. Michael DeVoe really got shut down by Notre Dame, and I thought that was maybe the biggest story. Georgia Tech wasn't really going to push Notre Dame, and if they were, Notre Dame was going to win this game even if it was close. But I think the big story was how they handled Michael DeVoe, and they pretty much shut him down. I think he's at, 7 or 9 points here? He is at 7 points, and I think that says a lot about Notre Dame. It says a lot about Cormac Ryan and Blake Wesley, that they can really shut down a star. That can win you a game in the tournament, and if Notre Dame can do that a little bit down the stretch here, that's huge. Obviously, Michael DeVoe doesn't have a whole lot of co-stars. Jordan Usher helps him a little bit, but I mean, it's going to be easier to shut him down when he's the only guy, but if they can shut down a guy like this, just man-to-man like they did today, then they're in a really good position. And it seems like Notre Dame's in a great position after this game, going to the double bye. Energy's high. A lot of fun to watch this game, and I haven't been able to say that all that much over the last few years, a lot this year, but big win for Notre Dame. Awesome that they just blew Georgia Tech out, even if they aren't great at all. Notre Dame beat them out of the gym. This one was never really in question, and we haven't seen Notre Dame do that in a while. We saw them do it against Clemson twice this year. I can't even really think of other games they did that in outside of bye games. So overall, really solid outing for Notre Dame, and we haven't seen them win like this in a while, and it's certainly encouraging that they didn't forget that you can win by more than 10 points. So solid outing for Notre Dame, covered the spread, and so I'm sure a lot of people on Twitter are happy about that one, but overall, solid outing, and Prentiss Hubb had one of his better outings of the year too. Did a really nice job navigating their zone and everything that came against him today. They put some pressure on him at sometimes, played zone a little bit, and Hubb was kind of steady and just found a way to get the ball to his playmakers and found ways to make himself plays, caught fire late in the second half, and really put Georgia Tech away if there was any doubt at all in the second half. Prentiss Hubb kind of closed the door on him, consistently made shots in the second half, and I don't know if he's going to do that again this year, but the way he created separation and hit shots the way he did today was certainly encouraging. And I think more to take from this game is his defense. Prentiss Hubb has really turned it on defensively lately. He was on DeVoe for a little bit and kept him in front, kept Sturdivant in front for a while. Just has been all around really good this week. Defensively did a really nice job on Joe Girard, did a nice job of keeping Buddy Boeheim in front of him, and overall has just done a really nice job working with the principles that Anthony Solomon has given him. Move your feet, get your hands up, and stay in front of guys, and that's what he's done. So solid defensive performance by Prentiss Hubb, and one of his better offensive performances of the year, even if it wasn't a clutch performance like we've seen from him a little bit this year. It was still a pretty impressive outing for him against a team that sorely lacks guard play defensively. Blake Wesley seemed to run point guard a little more today. It seemed to kind of trend that way a little more. Hubb on the wing and Blake at the one. He also did a nice job navigating kind of what GT was trying to throw at him. It was awesome in transition. One of the better transition players I've seen come through the program. And that's the reason why he got the one more year chance. The students love him. The fan base loves him. And today was a reason why he hit that 4-point play at the end of the half. Found guys. Just overall did a lot well. And can't ask for more from Blake. 5 for 9, 2 for 5 from 3, 15 points, and just really helped to put Georgia Tech away. Played some good defense on Michael DeVoe. Moved the ball. Found some guys for assist. Hit the glass a little bit. And Blake Wesley, you could tell how much fun Jack Nolan had watching Blake Wesley based on the call. And I think a lot of people feel the same way as him. And today was evidence of that. Cormac Ryan also playing really well lately, getting hot at the right time. I think he's really hitting his stride. Offensively, looked so confident shooting it. Has looked confident since Wake Forest shooting it, and maybe a little bit before that. Did a nice job on DeVoe and even Usher when he was mismatched a little bit. But Cormac Ryan's playing well at the right time. He is the perfect role player for this team right now. And if you can have role players like Cormac Ryan who are as talented as him, you're in a really good spot. I don't think a lot of teams in the country have a guy like Cormac Ryan coming off the bench who is so talented offensively, can go get his own shot, can hit threes at the level he's hitting them right now, and plays really good defense. There's not a lot of guys like that in the country who are sitting behind other guys. Cormac Ryan would be a starter on a lot of teams, and he's not on this team, and that says something about this group. It says something about Blake Wesley that he was able to overcome a guy like this, even if Cormac didn't have a great start to the year when Blake did overcome him. But Cormac Ryan's really talented, and he's showing that off right now, and he's showing it on both ends. Solid outing for him. And speaking of solid outings, Dane Goodwin, unbelievable first half by Dane Goodwin. Had 17 points with like 5 minutes left in the first half. Really slowed down after that. Didn't score again, but at one point the score was Georgia Tech 19, Dane Goodwin 17. He got a lot of goddess in that first half by Jack Nolan, and overall it was just really fun. Really was not great in the second half. And we got my guy Elijah Morgan at the free throw line. Let's see. Bang! Elijah Morgan hits the free throw, puts Notre Dame up 85-56. And microcosm of the day, everything going right for Notre Dame. Blowing them out, student sections packed. Everything going right, like I said. And Dane Goodwin was also part of that. He'd been sputtering a little bit earlier this week offensively. And Wake Forest didn't play all that well either, but today was really good. And at one point almost outscored Georgia Tech. So that kind of tells you what you need to know. Almost was outscoring them like late into the first half. So out of pocket offensive performance by Dane Goodwin early on. And didn't quite continue it late. Could have hit 30 if he did. But, hey, Dane Goodwin really gave you what you needed to get from him. Once the game was kind of less intense, he didn't really give you much, but when Notre Dame needed to pull away, Dane was right there and was a valuable member of that offense. Nate Laszewski was a valuable member of the defense today, was a nice piece. Keeping in front of Jordan Usher to match his size, hitting the glass a little bit, and overall solid rebounding performance by Notre Dame too. Georgia Tech's bigs looked not very good today. And, yeah, not at all. Notre Dame out-rebounded 41-29. Laszewski was somewhat of a big part of that, had 9 rebounds, so a little bit more than somewhat of a big part. Elijah Morgan has 2 boards, Zona has 3, and Elijah Morgan is back at the line, so I'm going to tune in, a little watch party here. Taking it, doing his routine, and got it. Elijah Morgan hits another one. Notre Dame is up to 89-56, and that's, 5 points for Elijah Morgan. So Notre Dame, everything going right today. Paul Atkinson, I thought, maybe played the worst out of the 7 today. Didn't look quite as sharp as he had, but it didn't matter. Georgia Tech's bigs aren't all that great. It looked like Atkinson was almost shocked by how many open layups he had. He missed a few of them. Like I said, he didn't look quite as sharp, but today he made good decisions. Was okay overall, and they didn't really need much from him today. Looked okay on the stat sheet, 10 points, 5 for 13. And Elijah Morgan hits the second free throw, Notre Dame wins 90-56, and maybe their most impressive win in terms of just killing a team this year. And really solid outing for Notre Dame. Josh Pastner's team got ran out of the gym by the Irish, and that was due to the 7 guys and some of the bench guys towards the end. Trey Wertz is the last of the 7 I haven't talked about. Man, he was wearing out those corners today. 3 for 4 from 3. I think he started 3 for 3 also, had 9 points. Tom Noy tweeted out that Wertz was really working on the corners before the game. That was pretty obvious as we looked at the end of the game. Trey Wertz just really had it offensively today, shot it really well. And if he can hit a few shots in March, I'm confident that this team can make some noise offensively. Trey Wertz could be a big part of it. I don't know that he will be because they have so many other options, but he's certainly shown he's talented enough to really make an impact for him offensively, and he did that today. Still, I think he's having a little bit of trouble kind of turning the corner. Maybe he's not as quick as we thought, but he brought the ball up a good amount today, had 3 assists, had 9 points. Can you ask for more from your 7th man? Probably not. And you can't really ask for more than anyone gave you today. Notre Dame scored 90 points, gave up 56, so really awesome outing on both ends for the Irish, and clinch a double bye in the ACC tournament. They'll be back Wednesday night against the Florida State team coming off a high, maybe a letdown spot for them. Don't have probably their 3 best scorers, but Florida State is a team that isn't going to make things easy no matter how healthy they are. We saw it against UVA today. Notre Dame is going to have to kind of scratch and claw against them a little bit, I think. I don't think they're going to beat them 90-56. I thought this game was going to be not close. I thought Notre Dame would cover 10, but oh my goodness, 90-56 is something else. Notre Dame wins against Georgia Tech. Everything goes right, and I will see you on Wednesday night after Notre Dame travels to Tallahassee and plays a Florida State team that's coming off a big win. So thank you guys for watching. God bless. Hopefully everybody has a good weekend. Stay safe.